Yeah. You know what it is. That Victory Talk podcast, where we talk about victory every week. I got a lot of stuff I want to cover today. Got a lot of topics to get into that's going to help you build your money, muscle, and your mindset. Let's start the show. Yeah. Oh man, it's the theme song to Victory. It's the theme song to Victory. Come on, man. You know what it is. This is another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, King Keto, the king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus, Jesus de Gimnasio para mi gente de la Washington Heights. All right. That's what they call me in the streets, man, when I'm uptown. You feel me? Keto Suave in this bitch. Right. And I'm joined by none other than the greatest producer in the game, the homie Nima, straight out of Iran.
Let's go.
Super excited. You know what it is, man. We out here, man. You know, he runs this whole show. All right, this camera setup. I don't know how they work. This one is moving. Show him this one is moving. He got this shit on some shit, and it's moving. I don't know how he did that. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he does it. Any of this. I literally just sit here, yell at the camera for 2 hours, and then it's on the internet. Everyone loves it. You know what I'm saying? All right. But Nima makes it happen. He set up the lights. You know what I'm saying? It's fantastic. All right. We wouldn't be here without Nima, man. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, we would. It would just be another motherfucker, right? But but I found the best one. He wouldn't be as good as this one. Of that, I assure you. Speaking of someone else who's irreplaceable, you know what I'm saying, is we're also joined by my girlfriend Minovia. You know what I'm saying? I was live on TikTok and Instagram. I was doing it simultaneously. I got two phones, and I be going live on both of them while I'm doing cardio. When I do cardio, the reason I do that is because like y'all my entertainment. When I'm doing cardio is boring, but I use y'all as entertainment, and I go live. And then at the same time, I'm answering y'all questions, man. It's a symbiotic relationship. And somebody was asking me, it was like, yo, ass or titties? And I was like, motherfucker, we ain't living a life of scarcity. I ain't out here trying to choose, oh, she got some big titties, I'll pick her. Or she got a fat ass. Nah, man, my girlfriend got both. That's what it's about, Victory Talk. You know what I'm saying? You got to get everything you want. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers out here settling for just ass or settling for just titties. Why would you do that? You don't have to. When there's bitches walking around with both. Yeah. But you got to be the right type of motherfucker to get ass and titties. Otherwise, you're going to be like, hey, ass or titties. Nah, man. Both. You know what I'm saying? Get them both. And we're going to show you how to do it. That's what the Victory Talk is all about. You got to be the kind of guy who builds his money, muscle, and mindset. Once you do that, you won't have to worry about how to get girls. Some big titty, fat ass girls is going to be on someone else's, some chick's live asking her about how to get a guy like you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. That's how you change the game. You flip it on them. You feel me? And that's what we do. That's what we helping y'all become, that type of motherfucker. Right. But when you do that, once you become that nigga, right, that the hoes want, instead of worrying about how to get hoes, the hoes gonna be worried about how to get you. Right. And then you're gonna need our sponsor at that point. Right. This episode is sponsored by a product that I haven't talked about much on the podcast. I'll be honest with you. Don't bring it up too much. But something we've been working on quietly in secret. It's called Thot Repellent. Yeah, this is a real product. It will be out around the holiday season. We don't have an official date, but just like holiday season, all right? It's gonna make a perfect stocking stuffer. All right. You can get one, buy them for yourself, buy for your friends, buy for your father, man. You don't need to be out here with these thoughts. You need to come home to your mama. Let her yell at him. Some of y'all get it for your dad and your mom. Your mom goes, you're gonna find some shit out. Someone says, I want to be like you. Brother, set attainable goals. I'm just fucking with you, man. I'm just fucking around. Listen, Thot Repellent. This is the easy to apply spray to keep the hose away. All right. Now, what you don't know about Nima's background is he before you got into podcast video production, he was an Iranian scientist working on some real nefarious things. But he decided to use his powers for good. Once we recruited him, I was like, listen, Nima, you're a genius. Let's use your powers for good. He said, I want to come out with a product that's genetically engineered to only repel thoughts, sluts, hoes, hose sluts. You got to watch out for them. Skanks, Jezebels, harlots, and Puerto Ricans. I mean, I meant to say prostitutes. That was a Freudian slip. All right. And I'm saying miente mucho peligroso. Can you put this together? And he said, listen, it's gonna take some time. But you know, him and his science friends, they were able to put it together. You know what I'm saying? So we got to give Nima a round of applause, man. This is done. It's ready. This is ready. All right. So you'll be able to spray it on your body. Then you'll be able to go outside with impunity. Once you a baller shot caller, once you build your money, muscle, and mindset, right? Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know, once you build your money, muscle, mindset, all the bitches is gonna want you, right? That's why we came up with this, man, because too many of the people we worked with, we helped with the Victory Talk podcast and the free Discord we have, right? People have been going through our Discord, going through the free courses we have in the Discord, getting the free advice. I'm in there daily giving out free advice. You know what I'm saying? I go live in the Discord, right? We out there helping you build your money, muscle, mindset. People going in the Discord, they coming up. And next you know, they have new problems. They used to be like, man, how can I pay rent? Now it's like, what do I do with all this disposable income? They used to be like, man, how do I build muscle? Now they be like, damn, how do I not intimidate people when I walk in rooms because my muscles are so big? They used to be like, how do I get girls? Teach me to have Riz. Now they're like, oh man, too many hoes. No más chicas, por favor. No más chicas, por favor. Por favor. No más culo para mí. Por fucking vor. And that's why we came out with Thot Repellent, man, because you know we there's new problems you have once you get on the other side of being a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? You got real nigga problems. Too many hoes. What do you do with all disposable income? You know what I'm saying? We can solve this problem. We're solving that problem now. And all your super chats are going to go towards the production of this because we already did the research. Now it's coming out. It's going to be out, but holiday season is going to make a perfect stocking stuffer, right? A gift. Buy a case of the shit for your friends and family. You get what I'm saying? Your dad may need some. Your brothers may need some. You know, if you especially like if you the man and your little brother's going to fucking grade school and all the little hoes is on your little brother, man, because his big brother's the man. He gonna need Thot Repellent for the little thoughts. It's I'm just telling you, man. We got to keep the ballers safe. All right. So this is gonna come. All your super chats go towards research and development for Thot Repellent. All right. We got one more sponsor. And one more quick sponsor, then we're gonna get into teaching for today. The newsletter Big Money Methods. Yeah, this is the newsletter that teaches you methods on how to get big money. All right, you click the link in the description, put your email in here, and you're gonna get articles written by me and the homies on methods to get big money. You know what I'm saying? So the homie written by me, our head copywriter, Scene. I know that's not how you say it, but Sean is supposed to be spelled. It's supposed to be a W in there. That's Scene. Fuck what you heard. All right. Scene. He's writing about how to invest in some other shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Some shit you don't even know about. Boom. I wrote one about how the 40-hour work week is a trap and how to escape it. You know what I'm saying? The homie Chris wrote an article about the alkaline diet, man. I put some advanced head front strategies in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Chris wrote another article about workout plans for travelers. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You need this shit, man. You want to take it to the next level, more free, man. We just out here, man. Subscribe to the newsletter, all right? Listen, I think some heroes have already contributed to Thot Repellent. I think they need to be acknowledged expeditiously.
We have Zeus contributing any amount I can for Thot Repellent. We got to have this thing ready before the end of bull market Bitcoin 2025. Stack up, brothers.
Hey, shout out to you, Zeusar de la Rosa. Gracias, mi amigo. Yeah, good for him.
El Rosario, babe.
That's even better than what I said. What else we got?
We have Cold Brew.
All right.
Now on that MMM path, thanks to you.
Muscle mindset.
Makes sense. I'm spending 3 to 4 hours a day on my skill. I am learning email copywriting.
All right.
How do I get my first client? People I should learn from. How to make 6 figures. Any advice or your thoughts?
Yo, holla at my boy Splash Man. His name is Splash Man. And but he learned how to copyright under my tutelage when he used to work for us. And then he started his own copyright agency, and now he's also teaches people how to do it, how to become copywriters, make money off it. Holler at the boy Splash Man. I don't know what his email is, man, but go on my Instagram, hit followers, type Splash Man. It'll come up. Should be only one Splash Man that I'm following. All right. Holler at Splash Man. He'd be good to learn from. He got a lot of free advice too. You know what I'm saying? Oh, how to get your first clients? Listen, if I was you, I would write some shit for some people for free. Like, say you want to do some shit for some people for free, preferably like it's some email marketers who can show you stats on how much money your email makes, right? If you use an e-commerce, if you go to an e-commerce brand, if they know what they're doing, they use like a software like Klaviyo, a CRM like Klaviyo. And Klaviyo, you can see how much money each email makes, right? And then you can see how much money your email makes, and then you can show that to clients. Yeah, that's how you do that. Yeah.
He said he deactivated his IG.
Oh, all right. Well, that's gonna give you some difficulties. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna provide you a lot of opportunity for misfortune. Because from what I understand, a lot of Instagram's a tool, man. It's a tool. Social media is a tool, and you got to use the tool. It's not good or bad. It's how you use it. It's kind of like a firearm, right? You can use it to terrorize the city, or you can use it to protect people, man. It's all about who's using it, who's wielding it. You feel me? Get you an Instagram code, bro. It's gonna be beneficial. It can be. What else we got?
And then we just have Louise with $1.
He just gave us $1. I'm with the shit. Shout out to you, Louise. All right.
I think people didn't know how. Yeah. He didn't know how to write a message. All right. If you were broke again and you couldn't start any businesses to make money, what are some 9 to 5 career paths you would choose?
I couldn't start any businesses. I would do sales. Because that's, because sales is like, it's somewhere in between. It's some of the good parts of entrepreneurship without a lot of the bad parts. Meaning, like, if you do sales, you're only responsible for like your sales and your follow up and your client, right? And you have some. If you work for a good company, you have some. You have some discretion about the hours you can work, and you eat what you kill, right? But you don't have the downsides of entrepreneurship, which is like, employees, entrepreneurs is responsible for everything, the HR, human resources, the marketing, the sales, the customer service, actually delivering the product or service, creating the product or service, like the advertisement, right? The entrepreneur is responsible for everything. The salesperson is just responsible for one thing, but he still has some anonymity, not anonymity, that's the wrong word. He still has some, leeway to create his own schedule and some more freedom, and his income is uncapped, right? Because you can get your commission, and you can make as much as you want. It's depending on your skill level. You feel me? So that's what I would do if I couldn't start a business. But there's no way you can't start a business. If I was broke again, what I would really do is I would do what I did. I'd start online training, boom, and then because I already know that shit. I got the skill level. You know what I'm saying? I actually teach. I was one of the first people to do online training back in 2009, 2010. I was one of the pioneers in that industry, right? Because nobody was doing it. It was a novel idea, and I was one of the pioneers of that. Back in 2009, 2010, and I became a millionaire online training, right? And now I teach people how to do it. If you guys want to learn how to do online training, I got a free ebook. The link is in the description. It's called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. It's actually the first link in the description. You download it for free, and it puts you on it really teaches you how the basics of online training, right? And it breaks down the business model, and you can see if it's even something that's right for you. Because you may read this shit and be like, yeah, I don't want to do this. And that's cool. It's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But at least it give you an understanding of what it's about. All right. We got one more super chat came in. Then I'm gonna get into the lessons for today.
We have Al Buzzy. BBC, what up, G? I'm learning to make wine and I'm passionate about it. I'm taking my money from my 2 jobs and Section 8 property to start my wine business. Do you know anything about wine business, G?
No, nigga. I don't know anything about it. It can be lucrative because the markup is strong. What, you got a vineyard, homie? What you growing grapes in the crib? Like how? Like, yo, I got more. You left me with more questions than answers, homie. You a sommelier? You know what I'm saying? Yo, here's what I know about wine. All red wine tastes like motherfucking designer medicine, and that shit tastes like different flavors of Robitussin. You know what I'm saying? And I don't drink alcohol. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm not familiar. I know the markup is crazy. One of my boys is actually, he was the head sommelier at Mastro's on in New York, the one in Midtown. Now he works at the one in Miami. He moved down here, and he was the head sommelier. He was in charge of all the wine, buying all the wine, making sure it's good. And this motherfucker knows all about it. I don't know shit about the business of making wine. Nigga, you gotta have a vineyard, don't you? Right? Like, that's how little I know, man. I thought you got to be growing. From what I've been to vineyards before, where they make the wine, them motherfuckers growing grapes, bro. I know you ain't going to the corner store buying grapes Making wine out of it. You in jail, busy? Because motherfuckers make wine in prison. Like they get some juice or some shit with the motherfucking bread in it for the yeast, and motherfuckers be making wine in prison. You out here making wine in your backyard. They're busy. Yo, listen, you are an eclectic brother. I never heard about nobody. Listen, man, I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just saying you want some next shit. You know what I'm saying? You changing the game. You changing the game, busy. My man stomping grapes in the backyard, man. My man buying grape drink from the corner store. Fermenting that shit in the crib. Listen, you changing the game, brother. I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited for you, man. Let it keep us updated on that shit, man. Oh shit. Is that fucking even legal? I don't even know, bro. All right, listen. I want to get into the lessons for today. There's a lot of habits that are stopping y'all from getting rich. You know what I'm saying? A lot of habits that's been preventing y'all from getting to this money. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna remedy that today in a segment we like to call Habits of a Winner. Yep. In this video, I want to break down the 5 habits that are stopping you from getting money. All right. And I'm well suited to teach you this because over the last few years, I've built several multi-8-figure businesses, and I've coached literally thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs. Many of them went on to build 7-figure businesses, and I've helped literally thousands of people build successful 6-figure businesses. And here are the things that I've seen stopping people from actually accomplishing the goals, and how you can prevent meeting a similar fate. If you do this right, it will smooth out the path that you take on your road to riches. Right? Not saying it's going to be easy, but it will be easier because you'll avoid a lot of the pitfalls. If you fail to follow these rules that I'm gonna lay down, you're gonna set yourself up for a great deal of misfortune. You're probably gonna end up poor and alone. And if you're not alone, you're gonna be with whatever woman, or let's call it female human-like creature, who will accept your broke ass under those circumstances. In my experience, the highest quality women don't like dealing with broke boys, poor boys, or men who are staggering around the poverty line if they don't have to, right? So while me and the homies kick it with our high quality women, you're going to have to deal with the leftovers, the creatures that are left over who crawl through the night. And then because 80% of business, and because 50% of business, because 50% of marriages end in divorces, you have a 50% chance of this creature divorcing you, taking half your money and your children from you. I don't want you to end up in that fate. So follow these motherfucking rules. All right. Hold on. Let me set up the iPad real quick, man, because we got to do some serious teaching today. Oh. Y'all need to see my Call of Duty KD. All right, hold up. All right. The first habit that's stopping you from getting to the money, the real money, is wasting time. I am astonished by how much time the average person wastes, right? And because you waste time, you waste your potential, right? The average person is walking around with so much potential that's untapped, and it will remain untapped because they're not using their most valuable resource, which is time, right? You got to learn to master it and use it to your advantage. So check this out. The average in every week, there are 168 hours, right? Everybody's got the same 168 hours, but a lot of you guys aren't using them effectively because you're squandering a lot of your time with bullshit as opposed to deploying that time against your goals, right? And the things that you're doing with your time, the majority of your time is filled up with vices, partying, smoking, drinking, partying, smoking, drinking, chasing hoes, right? Just all the vices, right? So the first thing you need to do to get more time is to eliminate the vices. If you can eliminate the vices, you're going to have way more time to deploy against your goals. Because a lot of people be like, oh, I don't want to work hard because I don't want to, because I still got to spend time with my family, or I still got to enjoy life, right? But these vices are not helping you enjoy life. They're limiting your potential, right? They're keeping your potential limited, and you will never, ever reach your full potential if these vices are monopolizing your time, right? So the first thing we have to do is eliminate the vices, right? Because you'll have more time and you'll have less distraction, right? You have more energy and more mental bandwidth because you don't have these vices taking up your time, right? So make a list of all the vices that you engage in that are preventing you from accomplishing your goals, right? And we want to eliminate them, right? And it's very important. You have to eliminate them, right? It's not, oh, I'll do it sometimes. I'll do it every once in a while. No, that's bitch shit, right? You got to draw a line in the sand. I don't do that no more. When I stopped drinking, I just said, hey, I'm not drinking no more. 10 years ago, right? Just don't drink. When I stopped smoking weed, I said, hey, man, this shit is slowing me down, right? It's stopping me from reaching my potential, right? And I just stopped 100%. Not sometimes, not at special occasions, not at your birthday party, or not on fucking 420 or Bob Marley's birthday, or when there's a Scooby-Doo marathon on, or whatever you guys decide you want to smoke weed. I just quit 100%. And the reason quitting is better than doing it sometimes is because when you engage in these things sometimes, it increases the cravings, right? Because now you tease yourself with this shit and now you want it more. You want it more, right? And now it's not like you treat yourself sometimes, or you everything in moderation. No. What happens is you actually give up, right? And you have to start over, right? You were doing great. You were on the path, and then you got off the path, and now you got to get back on, and it becomes more difficult, right? But once you quit, it's like after a certain amount of time, the cravings go away, right? How do you stop drinking? You just stop. It's going to be difficult at first, and then you get used to it, and the cravings go away. Same thing with smoking weed. Same thing with any other vices that you're trying to abstain from, right? I don't do any recreational drugs, right? I don't smoke any weed. I mean, I don't do any recreational drugs. I don't drink any alcohol, right? None of the bullshit, right? Because if I do it once, I'm gonna have that craving again. And also, it depletes your dopamine, right? So you need dopamine in order to attack your goals, right? When you see somebody really attacking their goals, this is somebody who has a lot of dopamine. Dopamine gives you energy, right? So let me right. But what it is when people say there's a dopamine spike, that's not really an accurate way to assess it. Really is you have an available pool of dopamine. Think about this is like your dopamine trough or some shit, right? Right. And you got all this dopamine here, right? Boom. I'll use a different color. So you got all this dopamine, right? And when you engage in these vices, you get high, smoke weed or whatever. What happens is you have a little bit less dopamine after, right? But what happens is I want you to think about it like there's available reservoirs dopamine, right? And then you use your dopamine on the vices. The vices deplete your dopamine. But what happens is after you have less dopamine, after you engage in one of these vices, you end up with less dopamine than you had before, right? And that's why after an all-night rager or whatever the kids are calling it, right, it's more difficult the next day to do something boring. Like if you were out smoking weed, getting drunk, fucking random people all night, you're going to wake up tomorrow and do accounting for your business, right? Right. You're not going to have as much dopamine to do it, right? Dopamine fuels ambition, but you'll have less of it because devices cause those dopamine spike, and then you're left below baseline. Right now, it will replenish. Dopamine will replenish with rest and time. However, what happens is people keep engaging in these vices because they're addictive, right? And they never get their dopamine levels to go back to baseline. And this is where people end up lacking motivation. So not only does it suck up your time, it fucks up your motivation, right? This is why vices are so sinister, because they waste your time and then they rob you of your motivation. I hope this is making sense to you, right? I have a whole video on it that you can check out about dopamine, but it's very important, right? You gotta manage your dopamine levels, and you can't be spiking them, especially with unnatural vices like drugs and alcohol, right? But then, so first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna quit your vices, 100%. Just 100%. Just stop doing them, right? And this is delayed gratification. If you want to do this shit like way later in life, after you're rich and successful and accomplish your goals, hey, that's fine, right? And if you do it, you can get a better version of it, right? For example, if I wanted to smoke weed now, I can get the best weed available on earth because I'm rich. Right? And I got connections. I can get the best weed instead of that shit with sticks and seeds that y'all smoking. You know what I'm saying? Right? I can get the best shit now if I want it, but I don't want it. If I wanted to get drunk, you know what I'm saying? I ain't drinking Paul Masson or some fucking cheap alcohol. I can go get the best shit, you know, at somewhere, but I don't drink, right? But a better example is, you know, when I was first really on my grind to make my first million, I stopped watching like basketball. I stopped watching sports, basketball, football, and I love basketball and football. You knew that because I was black. You already knew that, right? And I stopped watching it because I just, you know, I needed to concentrate. I needed to devote that time towards my goals. Now I go to basketball games. I go to games. You feel me? And when I go, I sit courtside. Or in one of my boy, he's got season tickets at a suite. So we pull up to the suite. You get what I'm saying? It's better. You get a better you can have a better version of it once you're successful if you can delay gratification. We're going to talk about that more in this video, delaying gratification and long-term thinking, right? But if you can delay gratification, you have a better version of it, right? If one of your vices is women, are you out here chasing women all the time? Hey, do you think you can get better women once you accomplish your goals, right? You can't even get around the fucking hottest women in the world if you broke. You can fuck. Yeah, you can fuck a New Jersey 7 if you broke, right? You know what I'm saying? But you want to be out here fucking Miami 9s and 10s, you ain't even got access to these hoes. You can't even get around them unless you got a certain kind of status, unless you accomplish something. Like now once you make it, you can fuck better bitches. You know what I'm saying? If you can delay gratification. You get what I'm saying? Right? But you wasting your time and your dopamine on sixes, man. Sixes in your shit town. You get what I'm saying? All right. But then another part of wasting time is you actually have to use your time more effectively. Now, remember, we got these 168 hours. People say, I don't have time, but there's 168 hours in every week, right? You're probably not using your time more effectively. So you got to plan every hour of your day in your calendar, right? I'm not writing all that shit. Fuck that. Right? Let me show you what my calendar looks like. Right? Because I got some really aggressive goals. So here's my calendar. As you can see, every hour of every week, every hour of every day is accounted for. I got my wake up time, what I'm gonna do as soon as I wake up, all my workouts, boom, what I'm gonna do every hour. Like, look at today, right now, Victories Talk podcast. I'm right here. But there was only like a little bit of white space in the calendar, and I live out my calendar. You get what I'm saying? And this white space here is going to get filled up tomorrow morning when I plan my day, right? Thursday's already booked. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is already booked, right? The only white space I have. Now, imagine if you live like this, how much further you can get if you use your time more effectively. I have whole videos on how to use your calendar more effectively, but this is a cheat code in life. This is how I became successful, right? If you take one thing from me, it's plan out every hour of every day in your calendar, right? And use that hour and deploy it against your goals as opposed to chasing dopamine. Chase victory. Use that time to chase victory. This is how you start lapping motherfuckers. You do this shit for a year, I promise you, motherfuckers would look at you like you're a different person. And you can plan everything. It doesn't have to just be work. The beauty of the calendar is you can choreograph your whole life. So I got time with my girlfriend here. I got time with my son in here. I got time with my friends. You know, I got sleep time. I got eat time. I got my workout. Everything that's important is in the calendar. Some people think it's weird to time plan. Some people think it's weird to plan time with your family or to plan time with your friends or to plan time with your girlfriend. It's uncommon. And maybe it is a little strange, but but if it's for me, I think, no, it's in my calendar because it's important, right? The shit that's not in my calendar is not important, right? Call of Duty Mobile, it's not in my calendar. You know what I'm saying? Smash Bros, it's not in my calendar, right? Because it's not what? Important, right? The important shit should be in your calendar. And the beauty of using your calendar is you can choreograph your life. Maybe you don't want to work as much as me, right? Even if you just wanted more time with your family, start using your calendar, plan out every hour, every day. You'll find more time to spend with these motherfuckers, right? Whatever you want to do, this is how you choreograph your life. I can look at your calendar and I can tell your future. And most of your shit is blank. And that's why you ain't never going to be successful. And it's not weird once you get to different levels. Once you get to high levels, like my millionaire friends, when we want to do something together, one of us is going to send a calendar invite. Almost all the time. Like, it seems normal to you because you and all your friends are poor boys. You ain't out here getting it. You ain't millionaires. But at the high levels, this is what it looks like. My boy Jeremy, he makes like $1 million a month. All right. And we were talking about going to dinner. When, you know, I was like, yo, let's get the girls and go to dinner. Like his girlfriend and my girlfriend, we was all gonna go to dinner together, right? And he was like, when? I gave him some times that worked for me. And then he said, where you want to go? I was like, Mastros, you know the gang, you know, my favorite restaurant. And then I got a calendar invite from him for that time. I was like, bet. I was excited to get that. It's normal at the super high levels. I'm telling you, this is how you set yourself apart, right? And what you don't see, here's the thing. We want to talk about eliminating vices, right? You don't have to go through fucking no crazy hoops. Oh, should I do a dopamine detox or an ayahuasca retreat or whatever the motherfucking nerds is telling you to do? Fuck that shit, bro. Just crowd it out, right? Look at my calendar. When am I going to do some bullshit? I don't even got time to chase no hoes if that's the type of shit I was on, right? You know, I ain't got no time. When I'm gonna smoke weed and get high, right? You just crowd it out. You don't even have to do nothing exotic to eliminate vices. Just crowd it out. Replace it with other shit. And you do that over a long enough period of time, the cravings will go away. And this will become normal. Anything you do is habit forming, right? That's step one, right? Now I'm about to get on to the next tip of things you have to do, things you got to stop doing to get rich. But we got to take a break to bring in the homie Greg, Young Candlestick, to talk about the market recap. Let's go.
Greetings, Victonators.
Yo, what up, homie?
How's it going, Brandon? I really like your talk about the calendar.
Oh, he's about to show his calendar. That's why.
Yep. I was just about to say.
You confused the shit out of Nima.
Yeah, I know, right? I probably scared him too.
Yeah, you scared the shit out of him.
I shouldn't be.
No, it's all good. Oh, you just showing your calendar.
Yeah, I was just showing my calendar. Brandon, you helped me find a lot of time in my day. And it's actually freeing when you live out of your calendar. And you can always, adjust things and not everything.
You doubled your income over the last 2 months.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks to you.
I've been coaching Greg, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
In exchange for stock tips.
Oh, hell yeah. It sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, let's get into the stock market. S&P 500 closing all-time high, not a new all-time high, up about 0.3% on the day. This is pretty bullish. Honestly, SPY might just take the scenic route and waltz its way, probably up to about $600 a share by the end of the year. As of right now, everything looks pretty bullish. I'm sure we could dip, but even if we dip, we'll probably recover by the end of the year. So you're feeling like it's real buy the dip time. Yeah, it's more so be really conservative for the next 2 months, but then towards the end of the year, I'm going to get more and more aggressive. So right now I'm looking at wheeling stocks. I'm doing cash secured puts. I'm doing covered calls. But then towards the end of the year, I might start getting aggressive with leap call options.
Oh, okay.
Cover some stocks and ETFs that might be
all right. Now the QQQs are not at the NASDAQ is not at an all-time high. Is that a reason? Are you concerned about that at all?
I'm not too concerned, and I'll talk about why. I'll bring up some individual charts of stocks within the QQQ. It's just kind of playing catch up. It got a bit stretched earlier in the year. And sometimes when things get a bit stretched, they can correct a bit heavier. So that's a really good question. And I'll reroute back to that question because that's really important. And that's a good observation.
Well, yeah. And also the Russell, it's not far from all-time highs, I guess. The Russell 2000.
The Russell 2000 is about 10% off from its all-time highs. Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not far.
Yeah, it's starting to catch up. It's not looking bearish at all. It's not looking super
it's definitely
bullish.
looking bullish.
I think the way to play that is just to find the best stocks within the Russell, and you can go along with those and just skip the rest.
Those the Russell 2000 is where all the stocks are. It was where most of the stock market is, right? So the S&P 500 is the 500 best stocks, right? But the Russell 2000 gives you a better idea of the whole, in my opinion, gives you a better idea of the market in general.
Hell yeah. It's what we call breadth, how many stocks are actually participating in the rally. If the Russell 2000 is selling off, how many stocks are participating in the sell-off? And that can give you an idea of what type of market environment that we're in.
Yeah, because what's the S&P 500, if Apple fucking skyrockets, it can make it look like it's fucking killing it, even if it's not. It could, right?
No, yeah, definitely. There's more weight of Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, the Mag 7. You've probably heard.
Yeah.
All right. Have a much bigger influence on the SPY versus the IWM is more representative of the total stock market. So
well said. All right. What you got to get? What else, man? What else you trying to tell us about this market, man?
Yeah, I briefly want to talk about what happened on last episode of the Victory Talk podcast.
Let's talk about it. Talk about it.
We talked about gold. I made a public statement, which is not easy to do, by the way.
Yeah.
245. Gold is the target. Now it's at 246. Boom. Target achieved.
He said it. Right here live. You can go back and watch the episode with Greg. He said it. If y'all would have been listening, paying attention, y'all would have got some free money.
Hell yeah.
He said it.
Gold could have dropped. It was just more likely to go up. That's pretty much it. Moving forward on gold, Big Money Methods wrote a really good article. Scene wrote back in May. This gold Big Money Methods article about how gold can be, a really good alternative asset class. And now back over here, gold has gone up 15%.
Come on, man. Y'all not subscribed to Big Money Methods. Y'all lost out about that too. The link is in the description and it's free. Y'all, man, we get what else we gotta do? We giving y'all the plays. How do I make money? Yo, watch the Victory Talk podcast. Do what we say. Money comes. It's free. Nigga, stop it. Just do it. Motherfucker, you can't say that word. I got too excited. No, it's all good though.
So yeah, gold, new all-time highs. I'm not a bearish gold now, but I am like pretty much flat on gold. We talked about GLDI. You can just invest in this and this pays out monthly dividends. And as gold rises in price, your income just goes up, your monthly income. So gold, I'm not a buyer now up here. I don't think it's a short, but if gold can retest, that's another new setup. So 230 is kind of the retest setup. I'm going to set an alert right there. And if I get that alert and it looks good, that can be another trade.
There was a few other stocks you talked about, man.
Yeah, I talked about shit. Yeah, DFEN. It didn't go up a lot, but only about 3.5% in 2 days. So
this is free game. They're getting so much free game.
This is how you profit off of war, DFEN. So that's just an idea. If you think war is going to escalate, not DIA, but ITA. This is basically the war ETF. Aerospace.
It's the aerospace, right? They make there's a basket of stocks that make money when there's international conflict.
Yep. LMT, NOC, all those pennants broke out, which we discussed. So that's really cool. I'd like to wait. I didn't take that trade, but I'm going to wait for another rotation in that.
That's the only reason I be caring about international events. Oh, there's some war. All right, what we going to invest in? What we shorting? You know what I'm saying?
You got to be opportunistic. Like that's the only you can do it, because then you can build wealth, and then maybe you can donate to something that actually like makes a change. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why money is really important. You can
come on, man.
You vote with your dollars.
Come on, man.
That's what money is made for. So place your money where you want to vote for.
Yeah.
We talked about Intel, and I said Intel, it's likely going to turn around, and that was back when it was about $20 a share. And I didn't think that Intel was going to really rally this much. But basically, when a good company, a good blue chip stock gets beaten down and it becomes severely undervalued, you got to think, what's the risk to reward? The risk was Intel goes bankrupt. That's not very likely, but the reward was that Intel recovers, and you know, Intel, nice good 16% move from that bottom. And so, you know, Intel probably has a little bit of upside to go, but the risk to reward is not as good anymore. A few months ago, I talked about ETR back at 106 and how this is a sleeper value stock. That's up 22% with a 4% dividend. But why
won't they just listen to us? Why won't they just listen to us so they can make money? We give it to them for free. Pause.
I mean, you know, in time, people will catch on.
They'll get it, man. They just got to keep missing out on these moves that we giving out for free on the pod.
Speaking of that, Brandon, you called this one out first. Netflix.
I ain't want to say. I wasn't going to say nothing.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to say nothing.
You're just.
I'm just too. I get that all the time. I hear all the time. I'm too humble. I never talk about that because I'm way better. I'm too good. I'm better than that.
Yeah, you're better.
I never talk about how humble I am. How I'm a god of modesty. I never talk about it because I'm better than that. But I'm sorry. Netflix. Yeah.
Just let me do it for you. Yeah, Brandon,
please go ahead. Talk that shit. What I say about Netflix?
You said Netflix. What do you think of that? I think Netflix is going to hit all-time highs down at like 625. Boom. Netflix up 15%. Romulus was talking about Netflix when he was on. And then we talked about Netflix. We talked about a trade actually last Thursday where it's a super simple, peaceful trade where you risk $250 and you can make $250 if Netflix breaks out. And that's pretty much it. We broke
the whole shit down.
Yep.
You missed it.
Yeah, this is alerted in the Legion too. But I mean, there'll be more trades coming. You know, there's always another stock. There's always another trade setup. But Netflix, I do think it can press up to about 750 to 760 by the end of the year. I do think there is upside. So I do think this breakout is just starting. If you could get a retest of maybe like 708 to 700, that could potentially be a dip buy if the conditions are right. So Netflix, it seems like everybody's watching Netflix. Wall Street's watching Netflix.
Come on, man.
All-time highs.
Yeah, man.
Super, super bullish. So some new trade setups. I'm just going to bang these out really quick. Just watch out for SOXL. This is the semiconductor ETF. This is like NVIDIA, Qualcomm, Micron, Intel, AMD, all of these chip stocks. If this is starting to break out, I'm just being a little bit of patient, but I do think that if it does break out and get some volume, SOXL can have 30 to 40% upside decently quickly.
Shit. So, all right, what's the name of that stock? What you say? What's the ETF? Excuse me, the ETF?
SOXL, and this is a risky one. So if it does break down, this has 50% downside pretty quickly. So be careful. Use stop losses, manage your position size, but we have lower highs and higher lows. So what that tells us is one side's going to break. And really, I should be charting out the base ETF, not the triple levered ETF.
Yeah. But so the one he showed was a triple leverage ETF, meaning you get 3 times the money which way it goes. Did I say that right?
Yeah, really, really well said. So a simple way to explain it is if SMH goes up 1%, this will go up by 3%.
Yeah.
Vice versa. If SMH goes down 1%, this goes down 3%.
Yeah.
So triple levered ETFs, they're more for short-term trading. They're not so much for investments. And the reason for that is decay. I'm not going to get super nerdy, but basically every time it goes up and down, it decays away the ETF. Versus
so it's a little bit of, it's a little bit of leverage. It's like you use leverage. You know what I'm saying? You're able to use leverage because triple leverage, right? So you know me, man, I love leverage. So like I was doing options, which are leverage, on margin, which was leverage, on triple ETFs, man. So my leverage was, listen, man, it'd be like that. If you got conviction, you got cojones, you can do shit like that. You
deserve the profits and the cash that come from that type of trade.
Thank you.
As long as you accept the risk.
As long as you accept the risk, man.
You're good to go.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I love it. So keep an eye out on SMH. Take your time. I am just still dollar cost averaging into TLT. Those are bonds, SPY or VU, just dollar cost averaging. Set it on auto recurring investments. That's what I do. And boom, your wealth just snowballs. Like you'll check back like a few months and, I didn't realize I got a couple grand saved up just chilling.
Got some paper out that bitch.
It's cool. Yeah. Same with QQQ. I do think that dollar cost averaging into that is looking pretty good. And,
and wheeling it, right?
You can wheel QQQ. That's totally cool. You can also just
it's expensive to wheel QQQ, right?
What's that?
It's expensive to wheel QQQ.
Yeah, you'll have to cough up $48,000 to do one contract of the wheel. Yeah, just 50 grand. No big deal. Yeah.
Light.
Yeah. And those have daily expirations too. So you could
come on, man.
You could get cash flow each and every day from 50.
Before they used to be just 3 times a week, right?
Yeah. Now, and I think over time, the most stocks will even have daily expirations. And I bet when quantum computing starts to take off, there's going to be hourly expirations and 30-minute expirations. It'll be nuts.
Greg knows, man. It was like 2022, 2023. I was doing SPY iron condors 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Fucking killing that shit.
You were crushing it. It's super cool to just make money when stocks go nowhere. You just basically say, hey, SPY, I don't think you're going to go above 572 today. And I don't think you're going to go beneath 568. Boom. And if it stays within that range, you just get 100% profit.
You heard. Anyway, man, we can talk about that more later because we're doing a free training tomorrow. Actually, if y'all want to know more about options and investing, if you want to, you could just take the free fucking tips we give you on
please do
the Victory Talk. I beg of you, so you can get some fucking money, right? But you can also join the free training. Me, Greg, and Romulus are doing tomorrow. All right, it's going to be at 7.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern.
The link is in the Discord. Yeah, the link is in the Discord.
The link will be in the Discord. Basically, you're going to learn from my mistakes in my trading journey, and then we're going to talk about how we profit in the market because there's different ways to skin the cat.
Yeah, we're going to talk about options trading. We're going to talk about the wheel strategy, and we're going to talk about futures trading.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
So definitely join that, especially if you're a brand new beginner. Even if you're advanced, you'll get some value out of it. But especially if you're a beginner, hey, come check it out if you're interested in the stock market.
Can we talk about another stock that I called out?
Of course, please do.
HD, the Home Depot.
Oh, interesting. Wow, very good breakout. I just gave a neutral to bullish rating. It just took off.
I didn't call it. I just looked at it. I was like, hey, keep your eye on Home Depot.
Well, it was interesting. It was around this time, around like 370, and it basically just broke out, but reversed back in and held the midpoint of the range. That's what we call actually a shortfall. And so if it holds a shortfall, meaning it holds the range that it basically was consolidating in, it has like kind of like a launch pad to get going. And Home Depot is probably benefiting from a lot of REITs taking off. So VNQ, going off, a lot of just real estate. SCHH. This is something that I dollar cost average into. And the REITs, real estate's just on fire right now. And it could even take off further since the Fed just cut interest rates by 50 basis points.
Yeah.
People buy more home. So Home Depot benefiting from people buying more home.
Come on, man. I want you to look at ST, right? Because I've seen some interesting. Can you pull up your MACD on ST?
SD?
ST, ETSY.
Oh, Etsy. There we go.
Yeah, I might be saying it wrong.
Okay, let's pull up the MACD.
Pull up your MACD.
Moving average, convergence, divergence.
And your RSI.
Of course, I'd love to. A relative strength index measuring speed and momentum. MACD can help measure the angle of attack. Yeah.
Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see?
I see a mild bull cross right here. So a buy signal. We're beneath the zero line, which indicates a downtrend.
Right.
For the RSI did make a bullish divergence. So RSI made a higher low while price made a lower low.
Exactly.
So
look at the volume. Look at the volume the day before yesterday.
Yeah, the volume really is goofy. Something happened on that pin bar. I'm gonna zoom in.
It tried to go. That looks to me where it's at a level of support. It's been fucking falling, but I don't know, man. I don't know what to make it at. It may be worth just staying away, but there's something going on here.
I agree. Something happened. It could be some dark pool prints, maybe a large buyer bought. Maybe it could just be nothing, but something is interesting about
something's happening here. Something is worth keeping an eye on, I think. You know what I'm saying?
A bullish pin bar came up, and then we have continuation, but the volume is just really lackluster. And Etsy has been in a downtrend. It is underneath the 200-day. Sure, it could recover maybe 20% up to the 200-day, but honestly, I think that the trend, it just makes it worth just staying away.
Yeah, it's probably worth staying away. Just something interesting is happening. I just don't know. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. You know,
all I would know is if you do take a long position, you can risk off of the low of that wick, because if that's really truly a low, it really shouldn't break. That's a significant pivot point.
I got one more. It hit all-time high since last time we talked, and now it's building a high base. That's MELI.
Melly, Mercado Libre. Okay. Very interesting. So all-time highs.
Yeah.
All-time highs tend to continue to make all-time highs. So it's one of those things where the entry point is tricky. Kind of like when I'm going to come back to Melly, but when we talked about Dash, I gave it a neutral / bullish rating, and it did go up, but it's tricky to just buy up there. I think I just need a new setup, as in, I would like Melly maybe if it could retest 2044, or it depends on what your goals are. If you're an investor, you could just dollar cost average into it, or you could just buy it.
Or you could sell covered calls. You could sell, puts at that entry point, right?
You could.
And that way you either enter there or you get the premium, right?
Yeah. And all that would take is just $250,000 to sell one. Point. Just $250,000 to sell one point. And it's not like you're risking.
I didn't realize how expensive it was. Yeah.
It's not like you're risking $250,000, but you do have to literally have $250,000 in cash, sell the point. I mean, you get a ton of money. Like just take a look at this. I mean, October 4th, what was the support level? Support level is 2044. If we just go out just a little bit, 2044, you would get Yeah, you get $1,000.
Oh, that's not good. All right.
You'd have to put up
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. But I might be a buyer at that support level though. I'm gonna be real with you.
Just set some alerts there. What I would actually prefer potentially, and since stocks are in a bull market, most things are just going to generally rise with the market. It's almost like a dartboard type of market. You can just toss darts and shit will just go up. 2150 is a minor breakout, and then you could add over the all-time highs. If you do buy that breakout, I would set a stop underneath 2092. That's today's low and a potential pivot. All
right, cool, man. All right, that's all I got, man. Listen, guys, if you guys want to learn more about this shit, how to do it, how to make money in the stock market, we're doing a free training where we're going to talk about options, the wheel strategy, right? We're going to talk about trading futures as well. It's a lot of money to be made in these markets. We're going to break down all the different ways to make markets. I'm going to make money in these markets. A free training we're doing tomorrow. Me, Greg, and Romulus tomorrow at 7 p.m. All right, the link is in the Discord.
And we have a nice and long Q&A at the end. So come with your questions. Yeah. So if you have any questions about the stock market, simple questions, advanced questions, we'll take them all.
And we'll answer those questions there for free. We only answer super chats here.
Yeah, you got to pay. You got to pay to get questions answered here.
Yeah, well, you got to support that. You got to support Thot Repellent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta be part of the team. All right, Greg, thank you, brother.
Hey, peace out. See you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern.
All right, guys, let's get back into the training. So if you're just joining us, I was talking about the 5 things the 5 habits you need to break if you want to make more money. The first one was wasting time. And I talked about how to get more time out of each day by eliminating vices, and using your calendar to actually find pockets of time, right? There's one more thing you can do with your calendar. There's one more thing you can do to get more time is to actually buy time, right? Actually buy time. So me and my boy, Dan Martell, he was on the podcast. He wrote a book called Buy Back Your Time. And I was telling him this is a philosophy that I've been implementing my whole life. And people were clowning me on it, right? Because I would say that I'd pay people to do things so I can get more time back. But I guess once a white man comes out with a book about it, everybody thinks it's cool, right? And then it's fine. Now it's a bestseller when he talks about it. But when I say it, I get ridiculed. But I want to show you, I want to go through but Dan's my boy, so I'm glad the message is getting out there. So when you buy time is, all right, so you can buy time. All right, so check this out. First in your business, but also in your personal life. Like Dan's book was about buying back time in your business. I think you should start with your personal life, right? So if you're making more money, if you're making, let's say you're making, your hourly rate from your business or your side hustle or whatever. Let's say you're making $50 an hour from your side hustle. That's your hourly rate. Boom, $50, right? All right. Now let's say it takes you to clean your house. It takes you like 2 hours. Right? You want to clean your house, it takes you 2 hours. Let me rewrite that. All right. Now you can pay somebody. Let's look. Now you could do it yourself, right? But what if you paid someone to do it? Right? Let's go on TaskRabbit and see what the cleaners are talking about. Oh, let me bring this up, man. Can I log in? I don't know if I can. Hold on, don't show my shit yet. Oh, I want to give you an example of this, right? Let's say it takes you 2 hours to clean your house. All right, fuck this shit. Hold on, let me move back. All right, so you want to clean house. Hold on, give me a second. Cleaning. I gotta. Fuck, man. I'm not going to put my address. I'm just going to put an address in Miami. All right, cool. Whatever, bitch. All right, hold on. All right. You got, let's say you got, okay, 2 hours, medium sized job. Continue. Hold on, give me a second. I got to type in all this bullshit. Hold on. All right. All right. Give me a second. Yeah. So let's see. Let's say we need under $50 an hour. Let's see how many of these. This is Miami prices, right? So let's see what we got. Boom. So this chick clean your crib for 30. This chick could clean your crib for $30 an hour. Cool, man. She got some reviews. See, there's mad people who do this shit for cheap, man. I ain't having no dude clean my house, man. That sounds weird. All right. So we're gonna go with this chick. Right. All right. $30 an hour. All right. Now let's say instead of paying her $30 an hour to clean your crib, right? Let's say instead of paying her $30 an hour to clean your crib, you clean it yourself. How much money did you save? Think about it. Some of you aren't thinking, oh, I saved $60. No, asshole, you lost money, right? Because if you make $50 an hour, right, getting someone else to clean it is $60, right? Right. But instead, you pay someone $60 an hour, right, to clean it, right? And you work during that time while they cleaning. That's what I do. I'm gonna have a fucking team of immigrants in here cleaning it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a big credit, right? And and I'm gonna be working the whole time, right? So that leaves you with you pay $60, but you make $100 during that hour, right? $50. Boom. That leaves you with a net of $40. Right? Boom. You bought some time. You made $40, right? If you do it yourself, you lose $40. That makes sense. And when these numbers get big, let's say your hourly rate is $100 an hour from your job or your side hustle, not your job. It's got to be your side hustle, right? Or your business, right? Your hourly rate is 100. Then the numbers start getting crazy, right? Because then if you would have cleaned it, it would have cost you $200, but you can make $200 during those 2 hours, right? Boom. Now you made $140, right? So if you did it yourself, you wouldn't save fucking $60. It would cost you, it would cost you $140, right? This is what I'm saying. Buy time. So for me, what that looked like this, and I did this one before. I did this before I was rich, right? Those of you know my story. My father committed suicide when I was 24. It was 2007. It was right before it was right before the recession that started in 2008 when Lehman Brothers and all that shit crashed. We had record unemployment. People with master's degrees was working at Starbucks, so I couldn't even get a job, even though I had a college degree, right? So I just started working mad hours per day, right? 80 hours a day. 80 hours a week, right? I woke up at 4 a.m., trained people in the morning, Then I showered in the gyms, went to the Prada store, worked at the Prada store for 8 hours. Then I worked for my boys moving company after it, right? And then on the weekends, I would train people in the morning and managed a restaurant in Queens, a barbecue restaurant in Queens. It was on Steinway Street. And those years, all just because I was working, I made fucking 6 figures, 2 years, right? And I had to buy time. I still had to clean my house. I still had to prep my food. I still had to do other shit. Then when I was starting my business while I was doing that. I started online training while I was doing that, right? So I needed to buy even more time, right? So there's only so many hours in each day. Because when I talk about working a lot, people be like, oh man, but what about fucking food and cleaning and all that shit? What about using the bathroom. It's like, shut up. Right? Because first of all, you ain't in the fucking bathroom 20 hours a week. Shut up. Right? But you do got to do other shit. You got to clean. Right? Let's say you got to cook. Say you got to do what? Laundry. Oh, it's fuck. My fault. Laundry. You got to wash dishes. Right? Fucking wash clothes. Oh, that's laundry. All right, cool. Let's just say you got to do more shit than that, but I'm just going to use these ones, right? Right. Listen, none of this shit makes you money, right? None of this shit is helping you accomplish your goals, right? So if you start making some progress and you get your hourly rate to a point, right? The first thing you need to do is stop doing laundry. This is one of the first things I did. Boom. I just hit up. There was this fucking Asian place in Queens, man. They would come, Chinese dude would come pick up my laundry and bring it back. And it was better than what I would do because he would fold it. You know how many times I folded underwear in my life? Probably none, right? It would be folded and the socks would all match. He'd do it better than me, right? But I can work while this motherfucker's doing my laundry, right? I stopped cooking. Boom. You can get meal prep. You can order food. But like, yo, man, people spend so much time cooking, right? Oh, there's fucking groceries. Groceries. I stopped cooking and I stopped getting groceries, right? I had any groceries I needed. I just had it delivered. They had Fresh Direct was the first people doing that shit. But the grocery store by the crib used to do it, you know? I had it delivered and I could work during that time. I didn't cook. I did meal prep, you know, but little shit that I would need, motherfucking, I don't know, man, cheese or some shit. It would be in the crib. Sardines, almonds. I had that shit delivered. Then I would meal prep. Boom. Ben stopped doing dishes. This is when I was broke, bro. This is when I was starting out, right? Not broke, but starting. I never allowed myself to be broke. Y'all heard my story. I just, you can outwork poverty, right? And I had other people doing this shit. Or I didn't wash dishes. I just bought all fucking paper and plastic shit. What about the environment? Shut up. All right, we're trying to get rich. All right, you fucking washing your fork ain't saving no whales. Stop playing. If you really care about the fucking whales, make some money and you can do whatever you want, man. Save all the whales, man. Anyway, I stopped washing dishes and I stopped cooking, right? And I stopped cleaning, went on TaskRabbit. It was even cheaper in Queens than it is in Miami because it's based off location, right? I was getting this shit for like $20 an hour. And now I bought time back and I deployed this time. It only works though if you use this time to go after your goals. You could do it to spend more time with your family, right? Whatever you want to do. You just don't need to be doing the shit that's not helping you towards your goals, right? All I want to do is make money and spend time with my friends and family. Those are the only things I really want to do. Everything I'm doing needs to be in pursuit of those objectives. You get what I'm saying? And cooking, fucking cleaning, groceries, you don't have to do that. You can pay someone else to do that. And you may say, oh, you're lazy. No, dumbass. I'm doing it so I can work more. You fucking retard, right? Sorry, I didn't mean to say the R word. So I can work, just bleep it out in the video, you know? Because you can work more. Even now, I like one of the reasons when I was in Manhattan, New York, I didn't drive because I could work in the Uber. I closed deals in the Uber. People would make fun of me for that, man. But yo, my son lived in Queens and I lived in Manhattan. It would be like 45-minute drive each way, maybe an hour if it's traffic. Fucking 2 hours. I'm gonna work those 2 hours and just take an Uber. And if I work in there, I'm netting more money, even though I spent money to buy the time. I'm netting money, and you supporting all these people, man. The chick who cleans our crib, man, she has her own company and she hires a bunch of other chicks and she's got a family. You know what I'm saying? Like we help support her family. We help support the economy, right? These people who have to deliver the Uber Eats or the groceries, or do the laundry, man. We support these people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you supporting the economy, you helping other businesses, you helping other people out, right? When you do this, you do it yourself to save money. Poor people focus on saving money. Rich people focus on saving time, because we know that time is more valuable. You get what I'm saying? All right. You can buy the time. I digress. Let's move on. The next thing that's holding you, the next habit you need to break if you want to really get this more money, is you're not tracking your income and you're not tracking your spending. Right. So here's how you get rich. I'm really breaking it. Here's how you get rich. Right. I don't know how to draw this. You make more than you spend and you invest the difference, right? You make more than you spend and then you invest the difference. And over a long enough period of time, you will get rich. That's what I did. I made more than I spent for fucking almost 10 years. I don't know exactly when I made my first $1 million. I don't remember the exact date because I'm old, but it was my early 30s. I started grinding like this at 24 after my father killed himself. I made more than I spent, right? If you watch my old videos, I wasn't wearing Richard Milles, Cartier bracelet. I was wearing an Apple Watch, some Jordans, and some joggers. And I did that shit for fucking years. You watch my old YouTube videos. Go back, watch some of the old ones. I'm living in a small apartment in Queens, right? Then I was able, when I started making some real bread, I moved it to the Upper West Side, you know. But I was still living well below my means. I was still living well below my means, right? I was a fucking millionaire when I moved to the Upper West Side, right? So fuck it. I was living in Queens when I was grinding, right? And here, let me just show you the power of this, right? So this is a compound interest calculator. Let's say you invested $2,000 a month. Let's say you start with $2,000 and you invest $2,000 a month. How do you get $2,000 a month? Remember, I said, man, fucking work, man, work more, buy time so you can work more, right? You do this shit for fucking 20 years, right? Let's say you did that for 20 years, and just the S&P 500, nothing exotic, boom, 10%. The average return on the S&P 500 is about 10%, right? Boom, you do that for 10 years, and you a millionaire. In fact, you a millionaire. I mean, for 20 years, you do that for 20 years, you a millionaire. In fact, you was a millionaire at year 18. Every time I do this example, some dumbass says, "What about inflation?" Shut up. $1 million is $1 million, even if it's not worth as much. Fucking 20 years from now, you'll be happy you had $1 million. You'll be happier than if you didn't have it, motherfucker. All right. And if you're so concerned about inflation, it stands to reason you really need to make more money, dumbass. Anyway, that's for your dumbass comment you would think about leaving. Go fuck yourself. I hate you. All right. And then, but that's like small change. That's small change. That's not even like real money, right? Well, what I want you to do is to really track every dollar you make and every dollar you spend. Right. I ask entrepreneurs, man, how much money you make last month? And they don't even know, bro. You'd be surprised how many don't know. How much money you spend last month? Motherfuckers be like, I don't know. I used to use some shit called mint.com. I got videos from 10 years ago talking about using mint.com, where I track every dollar I spend and every dollar I make. Now, mint.com closed down. We use Monarch. We track every dollar we make, every dollar we spend, and we make sure we cutting the bullshit, and we make sure we tracking our spending, because what gets measured gets managed. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. I ran one entrepreneur through this shit, and we found out this motherfucker spent $60 on bitches. I mean, this motherfucker spent $60,000 on bitches in like less than a year. And not like prostitutes, like flying bitches places, going on dates, you know what I'm saying, buying them shit, you know. I was like, motherfucker, you got to get your shit together. He didn't even know he spent that much. It's super eye-opening when I run entrepreneurs through this. But anyway, once you have that set up, then you're going to use what's called MBA accounting. Right? MBA accounting. And because the reason I don't know exactly for what year I made my first million, because we knew we made a million, but when I looked in my bank account, I didn't have $1 million in it. I knew I had made $1 million in revenue, but it wasn't in my account. Like, where'd all the money go? And I was like, fuck, I need to find a better way. So I read a book called Profit First, and that talked about how to fix things for my business, right? But I needed one for my personal accounting too. And this is what it looks like. Boom. So you want to have 5 accounts. So you have account number 1, which is your income. So 100% of your money goes in here. And it doesn't matter what the sources are from. Like, it can be from your job, side hustle. If you got different side hustles, for me, I got different businesses. I got different revenue streams. All of them go in the same account. This is where the money gets collected. There's no automatic payments coming out of this account. There's no debit card associated with it. It's just to collect the money. All right. Then you distribute that money into 4 other accounts. All right. And these accounts are your investment account. Right. Remember, you got to make more than you spend and invest the difference. So you got to put that money aside. Then you have operations. Right. This is the account you live out of. This is where you have your automatic payments. So you do all your spending is out of here. Then you have one for taxes, because Uncle Sam gonna get that money. Right. Or then you have one for baller. I'll explain what all these are. Right. So investments, whatever your investment vehicle is, right? Where you get sorry. One moment, please. All right. So remember, to get rich, you got to make more than you would spend and invest the difference. So we got to put that money aside first. Right. So this is going to be 50% of your income goes in here. You may be thinking, damn, I can't make that much. Shut up. You're going to be working 80 hours a week. I'll explain how that works. Right. Unless you got like 30 kids or some shit. I didn't tell you to have all them kids. You should have used a condom. It's too late for you now. All right. Just give up. Anyway, 50% of your income gets invested. This is why it's called MBA accounting. It stands for never broke again. If you invest if you invest 50% of every dollar you make, you can't go broke, right? You can't go broke, right? So it's never broke again, right? Then operations, right? 30%. So we're going to be living off 30% of your income. I can't do that. Well, dumbass, you're going to make more money and you're going to be tracking all your spending so you can cut the unnecessary expenses. You fucking dummy. All right. Taxes going to be 15%. Some people say, man, that's too low, right? No, I'm in the 37% tax bracket, right? I know that. And I skipped and I left New York State to save money on taxes, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why I live in those state income tax. So my federal tax is around 30%. But when you have a business, you get a lot of write-offs. You got a fire ass accountant like me, you'll be all right. Anyway, you make it more if you want. Who gives a fuck, right? Then baller account, 5%, right? This is what you're going to spend on dumb shit. You got to reward yourself, right? Now check it out. Baller account, this is where you buy yourself a watch, get you a Gucci belt, get some Jordans, shit you don't need. You know what I'm saying? Get your shit together. Get some cool shit. You reward yourself. And what it is, this makes you fucking work harder, especially if you're doing anything entrepreneurial. Because damn, you can only live off 30% of your income, right? So that means what? You got to make more money. Right? And then every dollar you make, remember, you putting more aside to investments. That's how you get rich, right? And then you're covering IRS, and then you buying cool shit. So let's say, man, you want to buy you a fucking Gucci belt, right? You want a Gucci belt. How much are Gucci belts? Let's say you want to get a Gucci belt. It's $400. right? I don't know how much Gucci. Oh yeah, $400, man. Let's split the difference, right? Oh, so here's the thing: you can get yourself the Gucci belt, man. Get yourself the Gucci belt. Just know that you have to make $8,000 to afford it, and that's okay, right? Because that means because 5% of 400 is 8%. 400 is 5% of 8,000. So you got to make $8,000 to buy that Gucci belt. No problem. But the beauty of that is you end up putting $4,000 in your investments when you do that, right? So this motivates you to make more money. You get what I'm saying? And now check this out. You may be thinking, man, but yo, I can't do this. I can't do this. Yes, you can, nigga. Let me show you. So the average American makes $50,000 a year. That's average, right? If you're below average, you below average. Why am I even talking to you? Right. So if you're fucking regular, if you're $50,000 a year, that's what the average American makes, $50,000 a year, right? Around that, give it may be changed by the time you watch this video, right? But the average American also works less than 40 hours a week. Like according to actual Bureau of Labor and Statistics, their stats say that the average American works about 37 hours per week, right? Right. We're going to work 80 hours a week. Remember, we talked about using your calendar and buying time. You may be thinking, man, I can't work 80 hours. Well, you're going to buy time. You're going to use your calendar. Let me show you how this works. All right. So listen, asshole. Right. There's 168 hours in every week. Boom. You work 80 hours a week. You still got 88 hours left. Oh, right. But of course, you got to sleep. Right. If you sleep 8 hours a night, I'm not telling you to sacrifice sleep. That's 56 hours. Right. Boom. So we subtract that from the 80. Oh, we subtract that from the 88. Boom. Now you are left with 32 hours. Boom. You still got time to fucking fuck around, play grab ass. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you want with those 30 hours. I don't give a fuck what you want to do, man. You got 32 hours to do whatever you want. Oh, what about sleeping? What about fucking groceries and all that shit? I told your dumb ass to stop doing that shit earlier, right? Now you can spend all those 32 hours with your kids if you want, or your family, right? Or whatever. You motherfuckers ain't spending 32 hours a week with your kids now. I know that. Unless they fucking babies. But you're not spending 30. You're not doing it now. You're not doing it now because your kids got fucked. Because fucking kids got to sleep like 10 hours a night, 10, 12 hours a night, like cats, right? And then they go to school. Then they got homework, after school programs, sports, their own fucking friends. They don't want to kick it with your old ass like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got 32 hours to spend with your kids now. And even if you did, they wouldn't want to spend that much time with you. They got shit to do. Kids is busy, man. My son got motherfucking karate. We out here with the nunchucks doing shit. He out here. Oh. My son just got his second belt with the nunchucks. He ain't got time to be fucking around. All that, he got Roblox to play. He got school, after school programs. Nigga got shit to do. he ain't got 32 hours to spend with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. He should be busy. You know what I'm saying? He out here balling for a little kid. Yeah. He got Legos to build. I mean, we be building Legos together. Don't get it fucked up. Me and him, we be building shit, all types of shit you could never dream about, nigga. Anyway, spend as much time. You still got 32 hours to do whatever you want. It's just mad. But that's where the calendar comes in. Fucking plan it. Just plan it, right? Use your calendar. If your calendar don't look like mine, shut the fuck up, man. You don't even know how much time you have. All right. You squandering all the time. Anywho, if the average American is working fucking just under 40 hours a week, making 50, it stands to reason, hey, you work 80, you should be able to double that shit. You should be able to double that income. Now we go to that compound interest calculator. Let's put in some fucking real numbers. You know what I'm saying? Was it like 40? Like you can make you double that shit, 6 figures. That's what I did during the recession after my father killed himself. I just worked motherfucking labor jobs, fucking security, working for moving companies, managing a restaurant. Sometimes I had to fucking cook and clean when we had to fire motherfuckers, you know. I just did that shit in in-person training. I made 6 figures. You can, during a recession, you can do it too, nigga. You can do it too, motherfucker. Right? So, and you invest half of it, boom, in the same boring shit, S&P 500, boom, boring shit. Calculate that. What did I do, man? Oh, my monthly contribution. My fault. 50,000 divided by 12 is 4,000. It's like 45,000. 4166, right? Boom. All right. Calculate that shit. Oh shit, 20 years you were fucking multi-millionaire. But on some real shit, you made your first million in 10 years. But really like 12 years around that time. And that's with fucking modest returns, average returns, right? If you invested in something like your business, you can really fucking turn this shit up, right? But whatever, I'm being as modest as possible. That's what it takes, right? If you really want to get rich, it's going to take you like 10 years, right? Unless you do something super risky, you know. But yo, just that's what I did. You are 10 years, over 10 years. Now I'm rich. Make more than you spend and invest the difference. The more you make, right? The more you make above what you spend, the more you have to invest, the more profit you have. The longer you do it, the more money you make. That's how you get rich. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. All right. Now, hold up. All right. Now, the third thing that's stopping you from getting this money, bad habit that's stopping you from getting rich, is focusing on short-term results. All right. You guys are too focused on short-term, right? And you want everything to happen now, but sometimes things just take time. Like some of you got discouraged when I said 10 years, right? But it's like, yo, 10 years is not a whole lot of time. It may feel like a long time to you if you're 20 because it's 50% of the life you live so far, right? And you only probably remember, you probably don't even remember half of that time, right? So it's like, it seems like it's a long time, but when you have short-term focus, you do things for immediate gratification, or you do things to rush time, or you make bad decisions. In almost all cases, the things that are good for you now are typically the things that you enjoy now are typically bad for you long term, and the things that are good for you long term are typically less enjoyable now, right? I just said work 80 hours a week and make more money than you spend and invest half of it for 10 years. Long term, you'll be great. I kind of proved it, right? But short term, it's going to take what? Sacrifice. And a lot of times, young people are just not willing to sacrifice what they want now for what they want most. You know, if you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, that's fine. You just got to understand that your goals become the sacrifice. But it's a sacrifice either way. You can either sacrifice momentary pleasure, dopamine, or you sacrifice your potential, right? You got to decide. And sometimes when I say stuff like this, I get comments like, oh, you're wasting the best time of your life in your 20s. No, motherfucker. My 30s were the best time of my life because I was rich and I was in great shape and I was still looking young, right? My 40s are looking like they're going to be even better. I'm 42 now. They're looking like they're even better. If you're in great shape, man, it's all good. If you take care of your body, if you're healthy, your 20s should not be the best time of your life, right? You should be, your 20s at a time where you have the most capacity to work hard and deploy against your goals, right? I see history is riddled with people who are in their 30s, 40s, or even 50s who just look back and regret, man, damn, I wish I didn't waste all that time, because they'd be set up and said they're fucking struggling to pay bills. And now they can't fucking go hard because now they got a bunch of responsibilities. They got a wife, they got a bunch of kids, they got shit going on, and they just don't have as much energy, right? I'm super energetic, more energetic than you, but less than when I was 25. You know what I'm saying? You wasting your prime energy on bullshit as opposed to deploying it against your goals to set you and your family up forever, right? If you can deploy that energy when you have the most energy and when you have the least amount of responsibilities and you're able to take risk, you can really set yourself up, you and your family, up for the future, right? Had I not done this in my 20s, I wouldn't be able to take care of my mom now. I wouldn't be able to take care of my son the way I do, right? I wouldn't be able to take care of my niece and nephew when their dad died 2 years ago, right? I wouldn't be able to be a real man right now. The man's supposed to protect and provide. I wouldn't be able to do the providing part had I not sacrificed the momentary pleasure in my 20s. But I didn't look at it as sacrifice. I was like, man, I got all this energy, I got all this time, I got all these resources, man, I can deploy them against my goals. And then in the future, my future self would thank me. And I do. I thank that little nigga all the time for grinding like that. But you also build habits. So now I still work 80 hours a week, but it doesn't feel like work no more because I worked hard. And now, one, I love what I do. I enjoy it. So it's not fucking, it doesn't seem arduous. And I've built a habit. So it's easy for me to put in that kind of work. You want to start working hard when you're 35? Get the fuck out of here. No, motherfucker. You're going to be changing diapers, right? You're going to be changing diapers with and dealing with some bitch who's yelling at you for anything. You know what I'm saying? Instead, when you could have been fucking setting yourself up for the future, bro. Right? It's a fucking big problem. All this enjoy life shit. Some of us enjoy life by focusing on building up our potential. Some of us enjoy life by seeing how hard we can push ourselves. Some of us enjoy life by trying to be the best we can be instead of trying to chase as much dopamine as possible, right? Because you waste all that dopamine on empty victories, man. Chasing these hoes, parties, vices, drugs, empty victories. And you're going to be fucking my age, 42, with nothing to show for it but a bunch of fucking funny stories. You get what I'm saying? That's all you're going to have to show for it. And you're going to fucking wish you listened to me today, right? Focus on long-term goals, right? Because if you're not willing to sacrifice for your goals, then your goals become the sacrifice. It's a sacrifice either way. Don't think you're not making a sacrifice. You are sacrificing either way. Do you want to sacrifice momentary pleasure or do you want to sacrifice victory? Those are your choices, right? I wish I would have ended the video right there. I wish I would have ended the video right there because I fucking killed it, right? But I got 2 more tips to tell you. Let's see if I can match that same level of awesomeness with the next 2. The 4th thing that's stopping you from accomplishing your goals is being fucking negative, man. It's being negative. And I'm not one of these guys telling you to just be positive, be positive. I'm saying don't be negative. There's a difference. Right? You got to really watch your language because your language is just your thoughts verbalized, right? So I was feeling a little sleepy earlier today, right? Because I'm old. I'm getting up there, guys, right? And instead of saying I'm sleepy, I said I need to get more energy, right? If there's something I want to buy, and it's expensive, I don't say, man, I ain't got the money for that right now. One, it's not true, but I wouldn't say that. I would say, yo, I got to get some more money. You feel me? I got to get some more money. right? And I never say, I don't even say I'm hungry. I'm like, yo, I got to get something to eat. Like I'm super cognizant of my language. And let me show you why that's important, right? So there was a baseball player. I'll give you an example. His name was Bill Buckner, right? And this guy had won awards. I think he won the Cy Young Award or the Walter Payton Award or some shit. I don't know, man. I don't fuck with baseball, right? But anyway, he won a bunch of awards. Right? He was a good baseball player, and he was going to be in the World Series. And this motherfucker Bill Buckner said this: the dreams are that you're going to have a great series and win. The nightmares is that you'll let the winning run score on a ground ball through your legs. Things like that happen, you know? It's just fate. Guess what happened? I'll show you.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight and the Mets win it.
This motherfucker, exactly what he said was going to happen. I'm not saying he manifested it. I'm not saying Bill Buckner is Professor Xavier, right? What I am saying is that, yo, listen, when you speak negative, you know, it has an imprint on your subconscious mind when you talk negatively. All right. For example, whatever you think about, you're going to feel and you're going to notice more, right? This is how it works. There's a part of your brain called the reticular activation system. It's located in your brain stem, and it's the part of your brain that's responsible for what you observe, right? Because there's so many sounds and colors and textures and things going on in the world. There's no way we can pay attention to everything. And your RAS decides on what you will notice. Otherwise, you go crazy. There's too many sensations going around all the time. Here's how this has happened in your life. We've all had this experience. You or one of your friends gets a new car. You start seeing that motherfucker everywhere, right? But you're not an X-Man. You didn't attract it. It was there the whole time. You just didn't notice it, right? You just didn't notice it. But as soon as somebody gets it, it activates your reticular activation system, and now you see them all the time. But they were there the whole time. You were just blinded to them because they weren't there. So this is why language is so important, right? Because if you say, I can't afford it, you're going to see more reasons why you can't afford it, right? But if you say, I got to make more money, you're going to see more opportunities to get money, right? And both things are true, right? You can't afford it and you need to make more money. Both are true. But one, you sound like a fucking bitch, waving the white flag, giving up. The other one, you sound like, I'm about to go ahead and get it. I need to make more money. Let's go. Who would you bet on? The guy who said, I ain't got enough money. Or the guy who says, man, I need to get more money. Just who would you bet on? Who would you want in your corner if you were trying to accomplish a goal? You got to be that person all the time. All the time. I don't even let people say try around me, because try implies that, you know, hey, I might win, I might lose. We'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we'll see what happens. Like a dork. Motherfuckers say, like in my coaching program, somebody says, yeah, I'm trying to get what I say. What? Use the T word around here? Don't use that profanity around us. Don't bring that negative energy in here, right? We don't say try, man. We not try babies. We gonna do it. We gonna do it or we're not. Oh yeah, I just don't know. Of course you don't know, motherfuckers. You a bitch. You keep talking like a bitch. Say you gonna get it. We don't say try. We don't say, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We not try babies. We going after it. But because if you try, if you say I'm gonna try, then you're gonna pussyfoot. You're gonna half step, right? Ain't no half stepping. All right. We're gonna go all in, right? And if you go all out, you will accomplish your goals. I've never seen somebody go all out and fail. Everybody I know who fails at something pussyfoots. And when I say all out, I'm talking about, hey, what's your calendar look like? How many hours did you put in there? Did you do all you can do to accomplish that goal? All you can do every day. That's not working hard. That's not hustling. That's not hustling. That's not working hard, because you can work hard and still's not all you can do. Right. And it's like, yeah, I'm going after it. Sometimes I'm putting in a lot of work. That's not a lot of work. I said all you can do each day. Did you do that, motherfucker? No, you did not. And that's why you failed. If you did that, if you did all you can do each day, that's not fucking trying. That's determination. That motherfucker's going to win. Most of you motherfuckers have never done all you can do each day to accomplish one of your goals. Because if you did that, you would have fucking got it. I've never seen somebody do that and fail. You may be thinking, oh yeah, I seen someone do it and they failed. No, they did not do all they can do every day. They did a lot sometimes. They might have worked hard sometimes, but working hard is not doing all you can do. I'm talking capacity. All right. You motherfuckers were fucking around doing other shit. Hey, everything in moderation. Gotta have balance. Talking all that pussy shit. You know what I'm saying? Batman did all he could do each day. Are you going after it on like you want some Batman shit? Are you on your Batman shit, nigga, or not? No. And that's why you ain't fucking hitting your goals, right? That's what happens when you try. That's what happens when you try. We not try babies. Watch your language. Never say you can't afford it. Say, I got to find a way to get more money. Let's go. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Never say you're fucking tired. If you're tired, you might as well be retired, right? You want to say, man, I need to get more energy because you'll find ways to get more energy, right? I didn't take a nap, even though I didn't have as much energy as I wanted. I don't even want to say I was tired, right? You know what I'm saying? I didn't have as much energy as I wanted. So I found some ways to get more energy. I did some Wim Hof breathing. You know what I'm saying? I fucking got on my exercise bike. I jumped on my trampoline, took some caffeine. Then I got after it. And as you can see, I don't look tired to you motherfuckers, right? You know, I never said... I was about to say something funny, but it would get me canceled. Right. But you got to just watch your language. Both things are true. I'm tired and I need to get more energy. But one sounds like you're going after it. The other one sounds like you about to give up, waving the white flag like a hoe. You get what I'm saying? This is what you need to do. Don't be negative. Don't be negative. No negativity. Right. And this also means you got to stay away from negative people. Right. Because emotions are contagious. Remember your homie got the new car? And you start seeing that car everywhere. What happens when your boy starts talking that bullshit about all his problems? What are you going to see? Fucking problems. Well, let's say your boy's talking about business opportunities, money, ways to get more money. What do you think you're going to see? Right? If he can get a fucking car and then you start seeing the car everywhere, what do you think happens when he talks about his problems? Stay away from negative people, or don't let people talk like that around you. Like I just don't let people talk about it around me. Oh, I'm trying to do this. What? What? You try, baby? Right? Oh, man, I ain't got no money. Hey, don't say that. Right? Everybody I know, they know that if they say something to me, that when they're talking bad about themselves, I say, hey, don't say anything about yourself you don't want to be true. I say that all the time. My inner circle, they know better. They don't do it no more. But when they're around me, I say, hey, don't say anything about yourself you don't want to be true. Right? Flip that shit around. Right? You got to control it if you can't. Right? And the fifth thing that's stopping you from accomplishing goals is you afraid to take risk, man. You afraid to try. You're scared of being embarrassed. You're scared of failure. But you need to understand that failure is necessary. Failure is actually a part of it. Right? I talked about this in another video, but in Ray Dalio's book, he talked about how, to accomplish goals, it always looks like this. Almost no one succeeds at first. First, you set goals. Ray Dalio is one of the richest men in the world. You know, he started the largest hedge fund of all time, Bridgewater Capital. And he wrote a book called Principles that I suggest you all read. You set goals, then you fail. He said it was actually a part of it. It's a part of the process. But once you fail, you learn. And then that learning helps you. That's when you start to accomplish things. And then you set more goals. Right. But this part is critical, the failure and the learning. So, yeah, you might fail, but failure doesn't last forever. Right. You might fail. And then you just keep doing this loop. That's what success looks like. A series of failures followed by success. So don't be scared to fail. Know you're going to fail. Know you're going to encounter hardships. Know it's not going to be easy. Anything worth having is not fucking easy. Stop being a bitch. It's okay, right? Nobody strolls to their goal. You never heard about somebody just fucking going after the goal and everything was easy. It was an unbroken boulevard of green lights and they just hit success. That shit don't even happen in Hollywood, right? That shit don't happen in Hollywood. And here's the thing. The failure, it makes your story better. It makes your story better. The reason Endgame and Infinity War was so good is because they failed, right? That's what made the movie good. If they just beat Thanos' ass in the first 10 minutes of the video, or in the first 10 minutes of the movie, it wouldn't have been the highest grossing movie of all time, right? The failure made the story better. What kind of story are you telling? God forbid your story is, oh man, I saw something I wanted, but I was scared that I might lose, so I didn't even go after it. That movie would suck. You're the main character in the movie of your life. You write the script. Are you writing a fucking script worth watching? Or you writing some fucking whack shit? Right? And it's okay to be scared. I want you to know it's okay to be scared. Right? You don't need less fear. You need more courage. Because courage means even though it's scary, even though you might fail and you will probably fail, you'll probably have to fail a few times to get to your goal. That's okay. What's not okay is being a bitch. It's not okay, right? Because one day you're going to tell your kids, oh, you can do whatever you want, right? And they're going to look at you and they're going to think, damn, Dad, is this all you wanted? This all you wanted? You said I could be anything. Is this all you wanted? And then you say, until he's not going to believe he can do anything. And you're going to teach generational pussyfooting, right? You're going to be breeding bitches. You're going to be growing a tribe of bitches. Because he's going to learn the pussyfoot from you no matter what you say. He's not going to mimic what you do. He's going to mimic what you say. I mean, he's not going to mimic what you say. He's going to mimic what you do. And if you grow up to be a bitch, he's going to see that. And it doesn't matter what you say to him. He's not going to believe he can do it because you a bitch, right? If you tell him he can be whatever he wants to be, he ain't going to believe it, right? He ain't going to believe it because you didn't go after what you wanted. This ain't what you wanted, Dad. I know this wasn't your dream. He's going to know. You can't bullshit him, right? However, if you went after your goals, if you really went after your dreams and you accomplished them and you say that, oh, then it means something. Then you can make a bigger impression on the little motherfucker, man. He'll believe in himself more because his fucking dad did it, right? And when he fails, you're going to be able to tell him to keep going because you failed and kept going, and you'll tell him the story and he'll be inspired and he'll believe that he can keep going and he doesn't have to give up and he doesn't have to quit. And that way you raise a champion, but you got to be one first. And being scared to go after your goals. Whoever, if you're single, your dream girl doesn't, I would imagine she doesn't want a guy like that. A guy who cowers in the face of adversity. That's not the guy she's dreaming about. The girl you dreaming about being with does not want to be with a coward. That is not an effective mating strategy. Therefore, You're going to have to settle for the woman who's willing to settle for that type of motherfucker. Because even 4s and 5s don't want a bitch motherfucker, but they know they got to settle for him. So now you've made an appropriate match. That's who you'll mate with. That's who you'll breed with. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. I know a lot of your goals, if you're watching this, a lot of you guys want to make it in the fitness industry because that's how I made my first money, right? I have a free ebook called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. You can download the link in the description and put you on the right path. If that's one of your goals, to start your online fitness business, click that link in the description and check it out. It's free. And, it'll set you on the right path. That's how I made my first million. And now I teach people how to do it. And that book will give you a good foundation on how to proceed down that path. And also, earlier I said I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do number 4 and 5 as good as I did 3. I shouldn't have never doubted myself. That's the lesson right there. Don't doubt yourself, man, because I fucking did that shit. I'm a speed run through these super chats. Also, guys, I'm thinking about starting doing some online training because I've been training some people just for fun, and I remember how much I like training people. If you think I should do that, just type 1 in the chat, just so I can see. I'll see all the chats. Just type 1 if that's something you'd be interested in getting training from me directly. Anyway, let me go through these super chats.
We have Jonathan. Thoughts on Escorts?
Well, remember I said you got to buy back your time. You know what, man? You probably shouldn't do it because you got to because you become like the people you're around. This is why you shouldn't do it. You become like the people you're around. All right. And the type of chick who decides to sell her vagina in exchange for currency probably has some issues that you don't want to assimilate in your life. Right. That's the main reason you don't want to do it. I get it, though. Right. You got to think about, especially if let's say your hourly rate is super high. And think how much time you got to spend to get a girl to have sex with a girl, how much time you got to spend with her. I get it. Like it's definitely, if all things being equal, it's the most economical strategy. However, it's not equal because being around whores typically, you become like people you're around. And if you're around some whores, she probably got some mental issues that haven't been addressed. And, being around crazy people would definitely set you up for a lot of opportunities for misfortune. You know what I'm saying? I get it, though, Johnny. I get it. I understand. I know where your head is at. All right.
We have Kevin. Hey, Brandon. Hope you're doing well. What's your best advice for a 19-year-old man about to turn 20? Thank you and God bless.
Here's my best advice for you, teenager. This advice I give all teenagers when they ask me this question. I say, hey, ask more specific questions because I don't know what to give you advice on, Kenneth. I'd like to give maybe you want advice on women. Maybe you want advice on fitness. Maybe you want advice on making money. I don't know what maybe you want advice on sneakers. I don't know what advice you want on hygiene practices. I don't know what you want advice on, right? So the advice I'm going to give you is be more specific when you ask questions. When you ask better questions, you get a better example. You get better answers. And I think that that was $5 well spent for that lesson. What else we got?
We have Cereal with Jacob with $2.
Hey, thanks. Cereal with Jacob.
We have Bobby.
Bobby Trauma.
I would follow this man into battle after that. It was like 10 Braveheart speeches rolled into one. W show. Yo, man, listen, Bobby Trauma. There's a lot of truth in that statement. And I think that many people would agree with you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. Only investments and assets. Yo, Brandon, loving the gems as usual. I appreciate that advice for looking for a job. As a job itself, it's got me 3 interviews in a week and got me hating the word try and checking myself for it.
Hey, because I remember he said try it at one time. He used that profanity, but he learned from it, and now he's got 3 interviews. Come on, man, let's go. Shout out to you. Only investments in assets. Victory Talk is changing lives.
Also, follow up. When I get my bread together, I'm gonna get your mentorship, and I'm gonna work with you, my G. As also, how long do you do a full body workout? Trying to save time.
Yo, from shout out to you, man. You know, it's about 60 minutes. I break it up into different sections, though, right? You know, and I time my rest between sets. So I wear my Apple Watch when I work out most of the time because I can put a timer on in between sets. So I time my rest between sets 60 to 90 seconds, sometimes 30 seconds between sets. And so I get it done with 60 minutes at the high end, 90 minutes. And I also break the workout into either in the 3 20-minute sessions or 2 30-minute sessions. Something about that saves time for me, right? Because I work out in the gym in my building. But that's it's more intensity. Like it starts to drag the longer it is, and you rest in more intense. It's less intense. If I get 2 intense sessions with that.
We have John with $2 super sticker.
Shout out to John.
And we have Richard with $5, and that's
Big
all
Rich.
for tonight.
All right, cool. Listen, guys, this has been another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.